You ever get that feeling someone's watching you? Not the casual kind you get when you're walking down the street. I mean the kind that makes your skin crawl, that presses down on you even when you're alone in your own home. That's how it started for me. My name's Alex. I live in a quiet little town somewhere in New England. Streets lined with maple trees, kids riding bikes, the faint smell of coffee from the corner cafe in the morning, and dogs barking somewhere in the distance. A normal town, except for Maple Street. Maple Street wasn't like the others. One house at the end, everyone avoided it. No one wanted to talk about it. People would cross the street if you mentioned it. That house had a reputation. People said things disappeared there. People vanished. And yet for some reason, I always walked by it when I was a kid, staring at it from a distance. It was just past midnight when my phone rang. Unknown number. Usually, I ignore those, but that night, I picked it up. Maybe curiosity. Maybe something else. "Hello?" I said, trying to sound casual. Nothing. Just static. Then a whisper. Not loud, not obvious, but deliberate. My name. Alex. My blood froze. I stared at the screen, trembling. The voice wasn't human. It was distorted, jagged, like the sound itself was trying to get under my skin. I hung up the phone, told myself it was a prank. I went back to bed, though my hands shook and my heart wouldn't slow. I didn't sleep. Every creak in the house, every rustle of the wind outside made my stomach knot tighter. And then it called again. Same number, same whisper. This time, I didn't hang up. I needed to know. "Who is this?" I demanded. Static. Then a voice, low and cruel. "You shouldn't have answered." I dropped the phone. My apartment was silent, but I could feel something shifting in the shadows. My heartbeat rattled against my ribcage. That night, I didn't sleep, and the whispers didn't stop. Days passed. The calls kept coming, each one more urgent, more insistent. Sometimes faint laughter, sometimes growls, shadows at the edge of my vision, and the neighbors started acting strange. Long stares, smiles too slow, whispers behind closed doors. Pets began disappearing. First, Mr. Jenkins' dog, then Mrs. Clark's cat, even the parakeet across the street. People didn't talk about it. It was like nothing on Maple Street was real. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I had to know what that house was hiding. One gray, foggy afternoon, I walked down the street. The air smelled damp, like decaying leaves. Clouds hung low, casting everything in a muted gray. The house waited at the end of the road like a wound, paint peeling, windows broken, doors hanging from their hinges. The air around it felt heavy, thick, almost like gravity itself had changed. I reached for the doorknob. Cold. Freezing. My breath fogged in front of me as I pushed the door open. Inside, dust hung in the air like a thick blanket. The furniture rotted, broken, decayed. Every step I took made the floorboards creak loudly. Then I heard it. A whisper. My name. Step by step, I moved inside, my flashlight shaking in my hand. I found a phone, old, yellowed, sitting on a rotting table. Its screen flickered. Last call. The phone rang. "Alex, you shouldn't have come." The walls shuddered. Dust fell from the ceiling. Shadows rose in the corners, twisting, coiling like snakes. I ran, out the door, down the street, through the fog. My apartment was supposed to be safe, but it wasn't. The calls became constant. Shadows at the edges of my vision. Figures outside my window. My dreams merged with reality. Nightmares bled into the day. One night, I answered, "Who are you?" A long pause. Then, "I am Maple Street, and I've been waiting for you." The apartment shrunk. Dust swirled. Shadows twisted into impossible shapes. I covered my ears, shut my eyes, and tried to scream. Silence. When I opened my eyes, it was empty. But I could feel them, watching, waiting.
I tried to leave town. Every road led back to Maple Street. Every turn, every street trapped me here. That night I returned to the house, darker than before. Trees twisted overhead like black hands. My footsteps echoed in the fog. The door creaked open. The phone waited. Last call. "Welcome home, Alex." Shadows rose. Faces appeared, neighbors, missing pets, people long gone, eyes wide in terror. "You can't leave," the voice said. "Once you answer, you belong." I tried to run. My feet didn't move. The shadows swallowed me. The walls closed in. I screamed. My scream didn't come out. It came from the phone. My voice calling someone else. I realized I had become part of it. Maple Street didn't just watch. It consumed. It waited. Now, it had me. The next morning, the street was quiet. Mailboxes, bikes, dogs barking. The house? Empty. No sign of me. But my phone, it still rings. And in the static, a voice whispers, "Alex."